10th principle, traditional cultures made use of the bones, usually as a nourishing bone broth, like the beautiful chicken broth we had this morning. The bone broth has many roles to play. It supplies minerals in a form easy to assimilate. The main role is to provide collagen. Bone broth is basically melted collagen. Helps us build healthy cartilage. The amino acids in bone broth help us detoxify. The gelatin helps digestion. Bone broth is very healing to the digestive tract, so anyone having digestive problems. And finally, broth, the glycine in broth regulates dopamine for mental and emotional health. And you want your dopamine to be kind of in the middle. If your dopamine's too high, you're very excitable and hyperactive. If your dopamine's too low, you can't get going in the morning. So the glycine in broth regulates dopamine levels. So learn to make broth. The easiest broth to make is chicken broth. We always add a little vinegar. It helps bring the minerals out into the water. Always skim as it comes to a simmer. There's lots of recipes in my book and in Nourishing Broth. Good broth resurrects the dead is a South American proverb. Ooh, chicken heads. My daughter took this photograph in the Himalayas when she was trekking in the Himalayas. And what were they buying these chicken heads for? They were buying them to make chicken soup because there's a lot of cartilage in the chicken heads and the chicken feet. So we really encourage you to buy the heads and feet, and if you're in one of these, buying directly from a farm, you can get the heads and feet. Beef. This is beef broth, which we're reducing to make a flavorful, thick sauce. This is the basis of gourmet sauces in European cuisine, and when you put these beautiful sauces on your meat, it's like you're eating the whole animal. You're getting the meat proteins and you're getting the collagen proteins. And there's actually more collagen in our bodies than muscle. So we want to make sure that we're nourishing that collagen by the bone broth. There's your book. I wrote a book on the subject. Okay. What the industry has figured out is how to make this flavor of broth using artificial flavors, mainly MSG. So here's some, MSG is pretty much in any processed food. It's been linked to diabetes, migraines and headaches, obesity. There is really good research showing that MSG causes obesity. Really good. And children are starting, getting it from the processed foods they eat from a very young age. And then autism, ADHD, and Alzheimer's. The MSG is toxic to the brain. It's particularly toxic to the hypothalamus, which is where we make feel-good chemicals, where we make, where we have impulse control, and where we make chemicals for satiety, to keep us from gaining weight. And it's not labeled. Usually it's labeled, it's in hydrolyzed, anything hydrolyzed, the caseinates, textured vegetable protein. It's not labeled. And I strongly recommend this book, Excitotoxins, by Russell Blaylock, who describes what happens to our nerve cells when they are exposed to MSG. They get super excited, okay? And then they disintegrate. So, anyone here ever get tired?
Yes.
So the solution to fatigue is to make your foods easily digestible. So that means raw dairy, not pasteurized. Much more easy to digest. Proper preparation of grains, you're pre-digesting your grains. Lacto-fermented foods rich in enzymes and beneficial bacteria. And the gelatin-rich bone broth. The less energy required for digestion, the more energy that you're going to have.